So this is the Excel sheet where the internal marks are given. We can actually quickly do the internal assessments as required to be submitted. So I will tell you how you can do that. Initially what you do is, before doing anything, you just make a copy of this Excel sheet which you have downloaded, so that if there is any problem or other thing, you can always go back. So how to create a copy of that is, right click on this bottom one. So you will have move or copy option will come up, and then click on that and create a copy. You just put and say OK. So you have the exact copy of the first one. So go to this and start doing whatever the formulas we have to apply. All those things you can use when you have the copy of that, so that it becomes, even if you make some mistakes or other thing, later on you can always go back to the original file and you will get whatever the mistakes or corrections you have done. You can actually rectify all the errors. So always before using, you just create a copy of the file what you have downloaded and then start using this formula, or I am going to be there. I am just going to explain you how you can quickly calculate the internal assessment marks. So here is the Excel sheet which was shared to us, and there are 2000 entries are there in this particular case. In my course there are 2001 students who had registered for the course, so the entire details are given here. So I will go to the, by pressing control top or control bottom, we can go to the top or the bottom. I am currently using Mac, so the keys are command keys. In the Windows machine you can use control keys to do the same thing. So this is the Excel sheet where you have all the information. For our calculations and other things, I'll just tell you, we can use some color coding which helps us very quickly in doing the things. So this is the 15th week information. Up to 15th week the values are given here in the S column. Then for the T column, I'll just put some colors, because I'll tell you why we are just coloring it. And for the next column also, I'll give a different color, because we are going to use some formulas, so that it becomes very easy for us to figure it out what we are doing. So this is the information that is given. And if you look at the first entry itself, there is only one internal assessment the student had attempted. The rest of the weeks he had not done it. So if some values are not entered here, then it is going to be very difficult for our calculations. So what we will first do is, we will first enter 0 to all the dates where the student had not actually attempted. So what we will do is, we will go to the first column where the values are there, then just press the control key mouse button and we go till this one, and these are all the values. 15 weeks values are there. Now I have to just enter the values. So I will press Control H. The Control H will actually take me to the find and replace command. So I will just leave it nothing on the find what, then replace with the 0 only, then I will just click replace all. So there are 1169 replacements are done. Just forget about this number, it doesn't have any value. Okay, just say OK and then close it. So that's it. Now if you come here, you will see that all the values are 0. Only in the place where the numbers are there, in those only empty columns are actually, empty cells are given 0. So this helps us calculate everything very quickly. And now for our calculations, we are going to use the average of highest 5 marks. So there is a formula to calculate that, and the formula is given here. Average, large, and the values are given here. I'll just share this formula exactly for all of you to share. I will also give the bold values, what the things are there, and I'll also explain each one. So the average is, we are actually going to calculate the average of, and what is the one we are going to calculate the average of large numbers, and the large numbers are present in cell E2. So this is basically called the E2 cell. Here you can see that it is the E2 cell, and the last cell is S2. So this is for the first student. So E2 to S2 is the value I am going to calculate. So in this equation, if we are going to use the formula, we have to use the word equal to, then only Excel understands it is a formula. So I'll just type the word equal to, and then I'll paste the formula one. But here it is given A1 to A10, so I will change that to our requirement. So there are two ways of doing is, one, you can actually highlight this particular cell and just drag it using your mouse till the end, and then you press enter. It doesn't do anything. So the best way to do that is go to the formula, and in the formula, in this place, large, after the large there will be a bracket, after that the cells details will be there. So here you enter your first cell, which is the E2, that is what is the number we had seen there first. So just put the number E2 and it will highlight E2, and the last cell is S2. So these are all the two things we will have to just enter that, and once you enter that, now you will see it is actually entered completely, and then just press enter. So the average is calculated as 4 here. And now if you come to the bottom of this box, you will see a black color plus, but in other places you will either see the if you just go to any place where the black cursor is seen, just double click on that, then it will automatically enter the formula for all the columns. So that means up to the end. If I can just press control end or the command end, I will just go to the last one. So all these things are actually entered now, and these are basically with the reference to numbers, because these values we cannot use it directly. So how we can actually use them for our final thing is just highlight this column and then press Ctrl C, because that is what you will use for copy, and then the T's column is completely copied. Then go on the click on the U column, and instead of pasting it directly, just go to this one where you will see the paste values option will be there. Just give the paste values option, because this one is basically a equation, and the equation is a reference to this particular cell. So that is the reason if you copy paste that, then we are going to have lots of changes if we make any change to any of this column, because in our final result we are not going to use any of these columns. So that's the reason the references will be lost, then the values will change. So instead of that, we have to just paste it. Instead of the formula, we will paste it as a values, then it will exactly paste it. Now if you click on this num, it is only just showing that exclamation mark with num. So that means these are only values. Now the next thing what we have to do is all this num has to be replaced with 0, because none of the students had entered any values, and those who had actually written the examination, whether they have written 1 or 2 or 5, depending on that, the marks are actually given here. So if you look at these two students, so this student actually had written 100 marks, and 1 and 2 90s and 3 80s are there. So his total mark is around 720 it comes, and for this student it is 640. But even though they have scored different marks, their average is same, because the best or the top 5 is, for this student it is 100 and 2 90s and 3 80s. Similarly, for this student there is 100 and 2 90s and 3 80s. So obviously the best of 5, both of them have the same average marks. Now the next thing what we have to do is we have to remove all the num and replace that with 0. So the simplest and the easiest way to do that is like you can click on this one, whatever is there, just copy this value and then highlight this entire column, then press Ctrl H. So Ctrl H is find and replace. In the find what, paste the values whatever you have, this num and 0, and replace with 0. Just click the replace all and close. So now you have the entire value that is entered here. Now what is required is you delete all the rest of the columns which are not required. I will just delete that columns. Now this is the email address and this is the students marks. That's it. So these are all the two columns. You can actually copy these two columns and just paste it on your whichever your course ID has to be there in the first one. So this is the final thing what you are actually going to do. So the columns headings you have to maintain or keep the same. So what you do is leave the first column and then go to the second column, then highlight the second cell by right clicking and then control in the Mac I will just use command and shift, and in Windows you can use control and shift and then press down. Then every 200 values are highlighted, then you press Ctrl C, then you will copy that and then you paste it on the Excel sheet and you are done. That's it. So this is how you can actually do it very quickly.